Hello Libra, this is Natalia and I have your reading for the month of March 2016. And so this is by Natalia as part of Astrolada's channel. And I wanted to say a big thank you to all of you Libras out there, sun sign and rising sign, for listening to these readings every month and for leaving your comments and for liking and sharing. I do so appreciate your support with this and I really love doing these for you. So I just hope you'll continue listening. So what have I got in store for you this month? Well, we're going to do a general reading for the month of March to see what's coming in. And then I'm going to hope that you're going to listen right to the end of the reading because we've got two cards for the eclipses. So it's the eclipse season that's upon us in March. And at the beginning of the month, around the 8th of the month, we have a solar eclipse happening. And then towards the end of the month, around the 24th, we've got a lunar eclipse. And I'll explain a little bit later on what is the significance of those according to the angel cards. I'm not an astrologer, I have to put that caveat in there and warn you, but I'm always really interested in these big cosmic events that are affecting us, particularly when we've got two eclipses in 1 month. So first of all, your main reading for March. Now, Libra, you are the sign of balance. You're the sign of the scales, and you've got two cards that indicate balance. So isn't that great that you're going to achieve balance? You are all about balance, so you're going to be in familiar territory, I feel, here at the beginning of the month and the middle of the month. So first of all, we're starting out with the Justice card. And such a powerful card. You can see Archangel Raguel here on the card, standing between these two pillars, holding his sword up. And the sword is about speaking a truth. It's about authenticity. It's about really the sword coming down on your side of, you know, if you're waiting to hear anything, any kind of outcome of anything, if you've got any legal dealings going on, or if you're just waiting for an outcome that in which you want something to be ruled in your favor, then this is such a great card to see coming out in your reading. And this is all about really standing up for your rights. It's about knowing what the truth is and, you know, believing in that, and that people will really see the truth. They will see that what is fair and just, and that will not pass you by, so don't worry about that. So like I said, if you've got any kind of contracts that you have to sign, anything that you're pushing back at, or you're trying to take somebody to court, or you're being taken to court, or there's anything of that nature going on, or you're signing important documents, you're selling a house, you're buying a house, this all bodes really well to get the Justice card in there. And you've got that balance in the figure 8 at the top of the card being the number 8. And so everything about this whole card is about balance, it's about fairness, it's about justice. And he's holding the scales there, and the scales of power. So just to know and just take heart that whatever is meant to be the outcome is the outcome for you, that the just and the right outcome for you, even if it's not so brilliant. Because I'll tell you why. It's always about what is part of our soul's growth. So we come here to learn things, and sometimes things don't work out in the way that we expected or wanted them to, but they actually give us so many blessings in the process of that happening, because they teach us a lot, they enable us to grow and become stronger. And then we find that later in life we're able to manage in certain situations because we've been encountering these difficulties and these crises, and that we're able to overcome them much more proficiently because we've been through some tough stuff before. So there's that balance at the beginning of the month with the Justice card, and then in the middle of the month you've got the Six of Earth, which again has this pair of weighing scales, and you've got this little fairy going back and forth between the scales, balancing them out, placing these golden acorns in there so that the scales are nice and even. And this card speaks of money, injections of money. And so this can be money that is owed into you and that you manage to get back, you manage to get paid. It can be something that the scales tip in your favor in terms of being awarded a pay rise in your existing job, or getting some kind of influx of money that really helps you to balance things much more favorably. Because say you've got loans or you've got extra bills to pay, and then this new money comes in, you get a pay rise, you get some kind of fresh cash being injected into your bank account, and you find like, oh, everything feels so much more balanced and harmonious. You've got the money that you need to be able to buy those things, or maybe you've got your sights set on a new purchase. Maybe you're investing in something. Maybe you need a new car. Maybe you're trying to get a business off the ground and you just can't grow it because you haven't quite got the money. Whatever it is that you're wanting to achieve or pay bills back towards, that you're going to see some kind of money coming in. So it's either owed to you or it's new resources that are going to end up in your bank account, and it's going to be wonderful because you've already got in your mind, you've got this money allocated, you know what you can do with it. It's so important. So Libra, you're just going to be feeling the harmony. You're going to be feeling the vibration of what your sign is all about, which is balance, balance, balance. And isn't it so good when that happens? I'm feeling like this is going to be such a great month for you so far. Certainly the first two halves of two halves. Certainly the first week and the second week of the month. I'm tripping up all over my words tonight. And then when it comes to the end of the month, we've got the Ace of Air. And the Ace of Air is about triumphing. It's triumphing over adversity. So it's about coming through, pushing through, being able to achieve something. And again, there's newness in here. So we've had quite a few of the star signs have had this newness, this fresh energy coming in. Yours is going to appear right at the end of the month, where you see the light, you see opportunities opening up for you, but they come after you having really dug deep and had to struggle, had to really fight your corner and stand up for yourself in some way. But you do actually get there and you achieve things. So you've got the Ace of Air, so this Pegasus type horse being able to be elevated up to the higher branches of this tree and being able to get to where he wants to be. This is also about truth. This is about you getting a reality check. So challenging beginnings. So having had this struggle to get to where you wanted, it wasn't easy. You've had to overcome these bumps in the road. And then you actually seeing the whether you really want to head off in this direction or not. You actually want this now, after having had to go through all this hassle to get there. But only you can decide that. But the truth is there. It's available for you to see. You're in a higher position where you can look down on things and you really can make your mind up in terms of what it is that you want to do. So, Libra, I discussed at the beginning of the reading that I was going to draw a couple of cards that will relate to the two eclipses that we're having this month. Now, the first card is a man holding a heart, and this comes from the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra and Taylor. I love these cards so much, and I love to use them as little injections into readings, particularly around significant events like this one. So the solar eclipse is very much related to things that are coming up, opening windows of opportunity, which is what the solar eclipse does. And it does it in sometimes quite surprising ways. And it can bring a new person, a new love interest into your life, Libra. And you see, you've had this balance and fairness coming in at the beginning of your reading. And as Librans, you're very much around finding your partner in life, about having your soulmate and having your other half. That's such an important thing for you. And so the man holding the heart, this can be a man or a woman, and I often think it is genderless because of the long hair. But you can see he's holding a heart and he's got a heart on his knee. They talk about somebody having a heart wearing their heart on their sleeve. Well, he's wearing his on his knee. And so he's being very open. It's like he pops up in front of you during the course of March, and love is on his agenda or her agenda, and that is the direction everything's flowing in beautifully. So if you are single, open to love, then love could be coming your way this month. Oh yes, particularly around the time of the solar eclipse. If you are already in an existing relationship, then love is blossoming, and there's a more tender-heartedness, there's a closeness, there's a sense of your other half being much more open and expressive towards you, which is really lovely, and being able to achieve this closeness because there's this authentic dialogue, this conversation going on. So lovely card to see there and around the solar eclipse. And then the second card, this heart-shaped card, comes from the Heart and Soul Oracle cards by Tony Carmine Salerno. And these always have such beautiful, very rich images on them. And this one is relating to what's happening around the lunar eclipse on the 24th of the month, or it could be a little bit sooner, depending on where you are in the world. And this card, you have this very almost poignant looking lady on the card. So it's like she's staring out into space. Her eyes are, there are little teardrops filled in her eyes. So she's feeling quite deep and emotional. And you can just see in the space in the middle of her brow is lit up. And it's illuminating her face. And this is the position of the third eye. And the third eye is where we perceive intuition, where we really go inward and we ask ourselves those deep and searching questions of which we have all of the answers inside us. It's just that sometimes we have to be in the right space to be able to connect with that energy. And it seems as though what's coming up for you around the time of the lunar eclipse, around the end of the month, is a time for soul searching, a time for you to really go inward, to find those answers within. And this can be quite a deep and very powerful process. So it may be very moving to you emotionally, but it feels like that's the time to do that. And it's around, this is a full moon lunar eclipse, so it's the full moon is such an emotional time anyway. You know, I always say, if the moon can move the tide of the sea, of the ocean, imagine what it's doing to us emotionally. And so this is quite a powerful time, and just sit with that emotion and allow yourself to feel deeply, allow yourself to go inward and to really dig down into your whole kind of essence of being, and to see what the answers are to that. Meditation around this time is incredibly important. It can have a really positive influence on you, and particularly around career and relationships. But remember, the message in this card is to be true to yourself. And sometimes we can go through life where we can busy ourselves and we can just ignore, we can suppress these emotions that bubble up. Well, I feel as though around that time of that lunar eclipse, you're not going to be able to do that, because those emotions are coming up, and those depths of whatever it is that you're holding on to intuitively are going to be surfaced and explored. But just enjoy that, because it's all for your highest good. So Libra, I hope you've enjoyed your reading with me, and if you would like to have a private reading, then you can click on the link below this video, or you can visit astrolada.com, and the instructions of how to schedule a reading with me are on there. I also have a Facebook page, and it's called Angel Lady. So that's Angel Lady if you type that into the search on Facebook. And join me there in my lovely community. We're also positive, and we post lots of really lovely things. So if you're interested in angels and all things spiritual, then something for you on there. So take great care, Libra, and I look forward to catching up with you in April.